Welcome to the Shred the Spread podcast, your home for all of your NFL sports betting needs. I'm your host, Jared, and alongside of me for the week 2 best bets for our contest, Dynell, what's going on, man?
What's going on, baby? Let's go. Let's go. We grinded all week for this shit. It's time to go ahead and let motherfuckers know. Week 2. Tell them to sleep, baby.
Dude, I'm telling you, this was one of the weeks where you look at the board and you're like, holy shit, where do we even start? And then the contest lines come out. We dig it through the contest lines and we find some spots. And next thing you know, we got 5 picks, 5 against the spread. We went 3-2 last week. We are in the money. So that's good. I believe in this contest, like the top 22% get some type of monetary prize, but we want to be top 10. Top 10 is where the real money is made. So
easy.
I'm shooting, like I said, if we can go 3-2 every week, that is a great season. But we do need to sprinkle in some 4-1s, maybe a 5-0 here and there. Maybe get us one or two.
I need one of them.
But dude, I really like our spots. We're going to go through these, a very brief breakdown. We are not going over any other picks besides our 5 contest picks. We may give a book play or 2. Obviously, if we take an example, which this isn't on here, so I can use this. If we like the Titans +3 and you get the book play at 3.5, obviously we would play Titans at 3.5 if we're already playing that at 3. So that's just a brief disclaimer. But with that being said, Dino, let's get into it.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. So in all likelihood, Deshaun Jackson's going to at least get a return. Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding? Way downtown. Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! That is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
The first of the 5. The Seattle Seahawks +5.5. This line has obviously moved in our favor. The contest line locked at 5.5. The books have it at 4.5. Some books have 4. That only means one thing, Dano.
Yes, indeed.
The Seahawks are going to play well this week. The Seahawks might win. The Seahawks may win. Obviously, the Lions were handed that Thursday night game on a silver platter by the Chiefs. But just overall, why are we on this Seahawks team?
I think we on the Seahawks team concerning the fact that, there was a huge letdown week. They didn't play Chris. They didn't play up to par. And in reality, too, the running game was dang near non-existent last week. And we expect that to kind of pick up, especially against that Detroit Lions defense, who, admittedly, played the run defense well without Chris Jones last week. But I expect this team to bounce back to kind of get this offense going. Lockett and Metcalf are not going to be held down to minimum yards again for another week. I expect a up week, and I expect the Lions to kind of hit a reality check here in week 2, even at home.
Yeah, we have to take a shot here. We're getting this number is too big for how explosive the Seattle Seahawks offense can be. Week 1, we kind of have to take with a grain of salt. That was rough for a lot of teams. We didn't see many spectacular teams or team play, I should say. The only really thing you could have taken from week 1 was obviously the Cowboys defense, but that was kind of a snowball effect. So you got to take some things with a grain of salt. Yeah, this Seahawks +5.5, this number is just too big. It's just too big.
Entirely too big.
This should be like 2.5, maybe 3.5. We know the Lions are good at home, but I see this. I've got this number closer to 3.5, 5.5. We're getting some value. We're going to take it.
They're not going to be dropping passes. I can tell you that.
For sure, dude. I like the Seahawks in the spot. So that's going to round up our first pick. Moving on to the second pick. We're going to back him. We're giving him another chance. He didn't look the best in week 1, but we know this guy can single-handedly cover a spread. And that's our guy, Josh Allen.
Joshua.
Obviously, the Bills lost to the Jets without Aaron Rodgers. That, I understand, is a devastation in itself. The Bills obviously would have loved to take that game, but there was 4 turnovers by Josh Allen, 3 interceptions by the same guy, and a fumble after he bobbled the snap. So I think there's going to be a different sense of urgency in the locker room this week and in practice. Protect the ball, make good decisions, and get the fucking ball in the end zone. I'm tired of this Bills team playing with their food. They need to shit on teams. This team is a powerhouse. Stephon Diggs has this swagger that nobody can guard me, and get him the damn ball, man. Seriously. We're going against the Raiders. If we don't beat the Raiders by 20 damn points, I don't know what's going to happen because I think Bills fans are going to start losing their mind because this Bills team should be stomping on the necks of shitty teams. And this is where it has to start. I want to get on the train before it leaves. And I think this, although I do see a lot of places the Bills are minus 8.5 and 9.5, there's a disparity all over the place. These books don't know where to go. Money's coming in all types of places. But as Dynell and I said on last episode, we love this number at 8.5 just for the simple fact of the key number. I said I've got this Bills team winning by like 18 points. I've got some, like, I don't remember exactly what my number was. I don't even have my note up here. I didn't really need to have notes for this Bills game because of, how great I felt about it. But I mean, am I missing anything? Like, why does this number feel so wrong?
It feels wrong considering the fact that when you give, I guess the Bucs gave him a benefit of the doubt after knocking off the Broncos and Russell Wilson once again. He completes the ball, but they don't go nowhere. He only had 178 passing yards out of 27 completions, which lets me know your offense is literally going nowhere. That's not the case. This Bills team did move the ball. Let's not get it twisted. The Bills team did move the ball against the Jets at certain points of the game. Turnovers derailed those possessions. And let's not forget, man, when Josh Allen's on, he is on. All right. It's not like this is not like this uncharted territories. Josh Allen has literally been in this position before, going back to back picks, numerous picks, games, and bouncing back and able to get wins. And this is the perfect time to do it against this Las Vegas Raiders team. Don't y'all think? I mean, like we've been talking about this for a while. This team is not that strong. That defense is not as strong as what came out last week. That Raiders defense is not that strong. They have Mason Crosby. I get it. He is a great pass rusher. But other than that, expect points to be dropped on their heads. Easy.
Yeah, I really believe in this Bills team this week. And it's just Jimmy G I just can't get that through my head that he is the quarterback for this Raiders team. Like, this Raiders team is not constructed to score points. I think they're going to fall behind. And I mean, they're traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast to Buffalo. Like, this team, I mean, this could get ugly. Seriously, this game could get ugly. And that's what we're betting on. I think we're getting a good number here. We're getting to get shy of 10. So even if the Bills go out there and struggle to get touchdowns and they're getting field goals, I think this defense is going to step up to the plate. And I think the Bills take care of business. But yeah, we got them at 9.5 in the contest. So obviously, I'd play them up to, honestly, I'd probably play the Bills up 13.5 and feel good about it. So book play, I think I see a lot of books at 8.5. Just FYI, do your due diligence and shop around, get your best number. But we got Bills at 9.5 in the contest, and I can say I've already bet this several times at 8.5. So let's move on to the bounce back kids. This kind of seems like the theme for this week. We got the Seattle Seahawks we think are going to bounce back. We think the Bills are going to bounce back. And we know this team's going to bounce back.
Oh, yeah.
Good old Patty Mahomes, man. Let me just say this. Patrick Mahomes under a touchdown. That's it. That's all I've got to say. Travis Kelce is back. Chris Jones is back. This number, I mean, this should fly up with the news that Travis Kelce came back. I do see that on a lot of books right now, it's still at 3.5. A couple have gone to 4, but a lot of them are at 3.5. I wouldn't be surprised if this closed at 4.5 at game time, because when the public starts making their bets Sunday morning, Saturday night. So I definitely would hop on this number. If you could still find a 3, I see one book that still has a 3, depending on where you're located, but there is some good numbers out there. So we've got it at 2.5 in a contest. This is a no-brainer. The Chiefs coming off of a loss. I don't care that's at Jacksonville. We were on the Colts last week, and truly the Colts probably should have won that game versus Jacksonville if they didn't take their foot off the gas, it seems like. So this Chiefs team is not the Colts. They're a lot more mature. They have the best quarterback, most talented quarterback. What else do I have to say? Like, this Chiefs team is just at 2.5. Like, this got to be a joke, right?
Well, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. That was a nice little segment. I like what you spewed out. All I got to say is you didn't have to say that much. They're back. Like, the 2 words you had to say was they're back. I mean, the 2 big dogs are back and they're ready to bite. They just watched their team lost last week. Chris Jones is back in the middle again to put pressure on the quarterbacks and stop the run. And Kelsey's there to catch the ball. Yes. Easy, without a doubt. At -2.5, you're giving Patty, Kelce, and Jones -2.5. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, that's just wrong. The fact that this, and the thing that makes me so mad about this play, everybody in the contest is going to have it. So that's why last episode I called it a free square. This is the middle of the bingo card. This is what everybody starts with. This is what you get. So we're just going to take it. We're going to take it while we can. We're going to take the Chiefs -2.5, and it's going to cash. So Chiefs -2.5 is the third pick. Now, we've got a big underdog in here, Dynell. Last week, our big underdog did unfortunately not cover, and that was the Texans. Which big underdog do we believe in? This divisional matchup, who do we got?
We believe in Sean McVay. Of course, I always believed in him. And the Los Angeles Rams at plus 7.5. Going against the division rival, the 49ers. I mean, this has been a back and forth battle the whole time. And we all get the kind of story. Kyle Shanahan has Sean McVay's number, but pump the brakes. Let's all relax. That Rams defense is no slouch either. They're not going to sling the ball around the damn field like they did against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which was a huge letdown. I did not expect that whatsoever. But I can at least tell you they're going to get more pressure on them. They're going to get more pressure on them. I believe Cam Akers kind of had I wouldn't say like a rude awakening, but he had a good ending of last year. Had a phenomenal game the last week of the season. He came back. He had an abysmal, 24 carries for 23 yards, something around that range. Basically, is around that average of 1 yard per carry in the whole situation. I feel like that's gonna be a bounce back, and you've seen it. Matthew Stafford can get the ball to any of those receivers out there. You see Tutu Atwell, and I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna guess the other man's name. I'm not even gonna try that, but he came out there the ball. They had 2 100-yard receivers that game. So no, I really feel like the Rams are going to be able to hold their own. Brock Purdy was big. I think that game was so inflated. So inflated. And yes, we get that the 49ers defense is great, but let's be honest. This is a division game. It's going to be great. It's going to be gritty. It's going to be tough. And you got to take that spread.
Yeah, we've got the home team in a divisional matchup getting 7.5. I mean, you have to play this. This is a system play. This is almost like blackjack. You got to play by the book. If you want to have the best opportunity in the long run to win and be profitable, you got to play by the book. And this is just strictly a book play. A divisional dog, 7.5 at home. And you have Matthew Stafford, who looks healthy. And I think people sleep on Matthew Stafford like he isn't this top 10 quarterback still.
I'm telling you.
This isn't nothing new. And I hit this on the head last episode. This is not something new for Matthew Stafford. He has played on shitty teams his whole entire career. Literally. And he just goes out there and produces. You've got a better head coach. You've still got Aaron Donald. And he's got wide receivers that are stepping up to the plate and making big plays. I mean, this is a no-brainer. I would bet this 10 times out of 10. I don't care how good Brock Purdy looked against the Steelers. Brock Purdy played practically perfect the first half against the Steelers. Then they kind of started taking their foot off the gas and relying on Christian McCaffrey. Luckily, we have Aaron Donald, who's going to force Christian McCaffrey to the outside, and we just got to trust that our defense is going to play team defense. So give us the Rams plus 7.5 for our fourth play. Now we're moving over to the NFC Beast. We're taking another team to bounce back. All five of actually besides the Rams. Rams won last week, so we're hoping they keep that momentum up. But our fifth pick is another team we're betting on to bounce back, and that's the New York Giants. I know. The Giants lost 40-0. Saquon Barkley doesn't look like Saquon Barkley. Daniel Jones is Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. This defense can't stop a I don't care. Look who they're playing. The Arizona Cardinals. We are a anti-Raiders podcast and a Fade the Arizona Cardinals podcast. I know the Cardinals were beating the Commanders, but Sam Howell practically gave them the lead.
Literally.
He practically did. If Sam Howell did not give them the lead, the Commanders win by 10 plus easily. Give me the Giants in a bounce back game with one of the best offensive coaches in the league and Brian Daboll. And I think there's going to be, as with the Bills, there's a sense of urgency this week because in reality, the Giants, if they don't win this game, their season might be over. Their season might be over. And I know that sounds crazy to say because it's a week 2 loss, but look at the competition in their division. The Commanders just beat the Cardinals. And if the Giants lose 40-0 and then in consecutive weeks lose to the Cardinals, blow it up. Blow the whole damn team up. You have Saquon Barkley in a 1-year deal. You just paid Daniel Jones $30 million more a year than you should have. This team is just, if they do not win this game, it is not going to be pretty. So I think there's going to be a sense of urgency with this team. They have to go out there and produce, and they have to cover this number. 5.5. I mean, this opened up at like 6 or 6.5, and it's been bet down a little bit. I think the Giants are down to like 5.5, which doesn't scare me because Dynell and I talked about this before we went on, and 5 is really a dead number. A lot of these games don't end on 5 unless it's extremely high scoring, but I don't see each of these teams putting up 30 plus points. So how do you feel about this game?
Well, let me kind of break it down for folks. I see the New York Giants as the Washington Commanders. These teams are kind of both similar, built on defense, running the ball, ball and then stretching the field, stretching the ball downfield. Now with EB, of course, the Commanders now are starting to throw the ball a lot more compared to recent years. But for most synopsis of it, they're built off the run. They'll play off the run and go out pass and do your deep passes there, your play action passes. The Commanders had 4 turnovers in that game and still won by 4. And this is a team that usually, drives downfield, takes time, eats up possession, and then, methodically gets down the field. This Giants team does the same exact thing. Saquon Barkley fumbling, that was an abnormality. Daniel Jones throwing, how many picks do you have? 2? 1 or 2? That's an abnormality. Yeah, there you go. 2 goddamn many. That's an abnormality. He doesn't really throw picks. The special teams let up a punt return, a kick return for a touchdown. I mean, the Cowboys scored literally in every single way you can think of.
Yeah, it was such a snowball effect.
Defense. Dak Prescott didn't even throw a touchdown pass.
He might. I don't think he did. He didn't have really any offensive stats. It was really just that defense giving them the lead, and then they were just kind of relying on the run game. And then Cooper Rush came in.
Exactly. And like you said, and like I said before earlier, guys, once the Giants got behind 16-0 or 14-0, whatever the hell the score was, that already went out. The game plan already went out the door in a matter of 5 minutes, literally. So once again, like I said, it's a bounce back game. Come on, guys. This is the Cardinals. We've seen, come on, guys. -5.5 against the Cardinals. And then a team who takes care of the ball, trust me, usually takes care of the ball more. You best believe I got this -5.5 easy.
Yeah, this is just a team where we know how the Giants play. They work the play action, they run the ball, and Daniel Jones uses his legs. And when they get behind that big, that early, they're kind of forced to lose their identity. Is this Cardinals team going to make them do that? Absolutely not. If they do, then like I said, blow this damn shit up and rebuild. But I just don't see that. I think this team is too well coached, and I think they'll be a lot more prepared this week.
That Cardinals offense did not score a touchdown last week. They did not score a touchdown last week. Let's think about that. They did not score a touchdown last week.
Wow.
The defense scored a touchdown, and then they kicked the rest with field goals. They did not score a touchdown.
Okay, see, that just made me feel a lot better about this pick.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, literally, the Commanders did everything in their power to keep it below 7 points. They they legit was looking out for Vegas. Honest to God, they had to.
Yeah. But like I said, we're not getting the best of the number on this, but I mean, it doesn't matter in my opinion. I think the Giants, in order to kind of keep their heads on their shoulder, they have to win this by at least a touchdown. So I really believe Brian Dable's going to have this team prepared this week. I think we're going to see a different offense. I think this defense is just going to play the defense that they play. And yeah, dude. So that's Giants -5.5. So that's going to round it out for the picks. We've got the Seahawks +5.5, Bills -9.5, Chiefs -2.5, Rams +7.5, Giants -5.5. The thing I do like about this week is we're not going to get any pushes. We're either going to win or we're going to lose our picks. And that's going to help us out for the long term in the contest. So hopefully if any of these games land on the hook, we're getting it on our side. It looks like we're getting the best of the hook. We're not getting on the outside. Like we got the Bills -9.5. So hopefully that lands on the 10 side if, worst case scenario. But 5 picks, 5 against the spread. Did you have any other book plays or props that you were targeting this week?
Kind of looking at it. I mean, not knowing anyone that kind of sticks out of my head at the moment. Like I said, I'm still kind of, I've been working these a lot these past few days. So I haven't really got a chance to really look at the props wise. But right off rip, I know we've been talking about it. I mean, you could say it. It doesn't really matter. But that Anthony Richardson pick you brought up earlier was, that was phenomenal. What was it?
Oh yeah, we both do like Anthony Richardson first touchdown. That's 9-1. That's just too much value.
9-1. 9-1. That's insane.
One pick that didn't make our contest, but would have if it was at 3 instead of 2.5. Dynell and I both like Patriots +3 this week.
Yeah.
So we think that's a really good spot for the Patriots. The defense looked good against Philly. Mac Jones was finding the open receivers and moving the ball downfield, so that's a good sign.
At different spots. Just in different spots. If he's consistent, best believe that's going to be a whole lot of their offense.
And then my underdog of the week to watch out for, it's going to sound crazy, but the Jets money line. I will be sprinkling it. Not a large play, but this just screams Dak at home meltdown against
Dallas
the Jets' disgusting defense. Dallas, yeah, in general. I mean, honestly, dude, I could see this being like an ugly game, like 13-10. And
literally
the
about
Jets,
to say that. It was literally about to say that.
The Jets kick a game-winning field goal on the freaking Dallas Star at the middle of the field. Like, I could see this being such a dramatic game. But, I mean, you're going to give me the Jets at, what, +350, 375, depending on what book you're at. Just too much value. This would probably be Yeah, I'll take this this defense could start the game off 14-0 just off special teams and, making defensive plays. So this will really put this Dallas offense to the test that wasn't tested last week. So this will be an offense that comes into this game not really off the same anticipation as they were from the week before because they weren't playing with anything to lose. There was no tension. There was no pressure. So I would love to see how this Dallas Cowboys offense pairs up against this Jets defense. That's going to be a very entertaining game. Just for future reference, I would love to see how these teams combat each other. So I think that's going to do it for us. That is our 5 picks against the spread. We like that Anthony Richardson first touchdown, and then we're going to take a shot on the Jets on the money line for the underdog. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at @ShredTheSpread_ to stay up to date in case any of our contest picks are subject to change at last minute. But as for right now, these are what we have locked in. If you're into TikTok, you can also follow us on TikTok at @ShredTheSpread. But for Dynell, for my awesome producer Tyler, and for the Shred the Spread podcast, this has been the week 2 best bets for our contest. Until next time, we'll see you.